Hi everyone, welcome, happy Friday, welcome to Let's Talk Health. I'm Dr. Amanda and I'm going to be talking to you all about superfoods today. So this word superfood is kind of a fad word because there isn't actually anything that is nutritionally speaking like super, but what it really means is that these foods, vegetables, fruits, grains, whatever we're going to be talking about, they are nutritionally dense and they're loaded with lots of nutrients. So I'm going to be going through 12 different superfoods that I think are really beneficial for helping improve your health, your digestion, your immune system, your heart health, reducing inflammation, and all of those wonderful things that what foods that we can eat, what they can do for our body. So I'm going to be going over those, and we'll go into some detail about that. So also, just I want to know if there's any foods that you think are going to make the list. So out of the 12 foods I'm going to be talking about today, let me know in the chat if there's any foods that you think will be making the list. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you a challenge that you can do to improve your health and get more superfoods and nutrient-dense foods into your diet. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be chatting about that at the end. Okay, so if you're new here, welcome. We do this every Friday at 7 p.m. We go live and chatting about different health topics. I host a live Q&A to answer your questions and provide health tips. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can join us every Friday and get notified about when I go live, and give this video a big thumbs up so it can help get the channel noticed across YouTube and help with the algorithm to get more people to come here and join our community every Friday. Okay, so before I start, give me 1 second to see if there's anything that we have in the chat. So not right now. Okay. So I'm going to be going through the 12 foods, but let me know if you think one of your favorites is going to make the list. And as I'm going through them, comment about them if there's certain ones that you like, or if there's ones that you're surprised that haven't made the list, and we'll chat about those at the end. Okay, so number 1 is kale. So kale, I'm not sure if you've tried it before, but it is a pretty bitter food. It's a dark leafy green vegetable, and it is packed with lots of nutrients, and this includes folate, which is important for neurological health. It includes zinc, calcium, magnesium, which are all important for our bone health and heart health, vitamin C, and it really has a lot of fiber in it. So fiber is great for helping our digestive tract, for helping reducing cholesterol, and preventing any long-term diseases. So kale is loaded with all these things, and it really is great for helping, like I said, reducing heart disease and also type 2 diabetes. And that's because it is anti-inflammatory and it is good for getting rid of any excess toxins in our body and helping our metabolism. So in terms of kale, like I said, it's a dark leafy green vegetable, but there's also other dark leafy green vegetables as well. So things like Swiss chard, collard greens, spinach, those are other dark leafy green vegetables. Broccoli is also one, but it's a little bit different in the way that it works. It's part of the group of cruciferous vegetables, so it's not more of like the leafy greens. And in terms of kale, you can have it in many different ways throughout the diet. So if you want some tips for including kale into your diet, you can either have it raw or you can have it cooked. So raw kale would be like in a salad, but I always suggest when you're having raw kale to massage it, and that helps break down that tough fibrous content that it has in it. You're still going to get lots of fiber from it, but it's a little bit easier on the digestive system. So something like putting it in a big bowl and sprinkling a little bit of sea salt on it, or drizzling some lemon juice, and then just really massaging it through with your hands helps to break that down, and it's a bit easier on the digestion. So whenever you have something like raw like that, just know that it can be a bit challenging on the digestive tract. So doing something like that helps to break it down, and it's easier to digest and consume. And then if you want to have it cooked, you can saute it. You can saute it in avocado oil or olive oil. You can even bake what they call kale chips. So if you break it up in pieces, put it in the oven on a baking tray, and then drizzle it with some oil, some salt and pepper. You can even put like seasoning if you want to make it like cheesy or spicy, and you bake that in the oven at a higher temperature until it's a little crispy, and then that's like a healthier, salty, crunchy snack. So those are kind of different ways you can add kale in a diet. So I'm looking in the comments right now, and some people are saying like, hi, long time no see. Yeah, I like kale. I prefer rapini. So yeah, rapini is another green vegetable, and it also has the bitter property. And that bitterness is actually helpful for stimulating our digestive enzymes and helping break down food and helping with improving our digestion. Somebody mentioned, is it better raw or cooked? So kind of like I said, you could do it either or. Sometimes when you cook things, it does reduce the nutrient content in them. So something like steaming or roasting, I find, is a little bit better for holding that rather than boiling, because boiling, you do get it goes through the water, so it does reduce a little bit the nutrient content. But again, it depends. So if you are somebody that maybe has a lot of bloating, or you can't really digest a lot of raw veggies, then maybe you need to go for something cooked. And then somebody mentioned massaging kale. How's that done? So like I mentioned, you put in a big bowl and you just kind of like massage it through your hands with a little bit of salt, can help break it down a bit, or lemon juice. Okay, so that's number one, that's kale. And like I said, it's great. It's really packed with lots of tons of vitamins and minerals. Okay, number two is ground flax seeds. So have you ever tried ground flax seeds? Let me know in the comments. Is this something that you enjoy? So this one is huge. I love this because it has so many different health benefits. But number one, it's loaded with fiber. So fiber, like I mentioned, it's helpful for improving your digestive tract, because it basically helps regulate bowel movements. So it helps to form healthy bowel movements and keeping things regular. It's great for reducing constipation. And it's also really good for reducing cholesterol. So maybe if you've bought ground flax seeds, you can see like written on it, it will say like helps to reduce cholesterol. And that's because of this fiber. It helps to bind with the cholesterol and detox it through the body and eliminate it. So it's really good for helping reduce LDL, which is our bad cholesterol. And because of that, then it can help reduce the risk of heart disease, or it can help improve heart health. So something like having 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds a day is a good, beneficial, adequate dose. Flax seeds are high in omega-3s, so those are your fatty acids, which are great for brain health, and like I said, heart health. And also with ground flax seeds, it can help balance out hormones, and that is also one through the detoxification process, so like helping your liver and your bowels detox and eliminate excess hormones. So that is one way that we can detoxify our bodies. And 2, it's also considered a phytoestrogen. So don't get this confused with thinking it's estrogen. If you have flax, you're gonna have too much estrogen in your body. It's not like that. The way it works is it works on the receptor and it helps to balance it. So if somebody has excess estrogen, it can help to balance out the effects of that and help to give you a balanced amount in your body. So it's good for even helping out with if you have low amounts of estrogen, so conditions like in menopause or other conditions that have low estrogen. It can help to modulate that and help reduce hot flashes, and helpful for hormone health. So that is a great a great superfood that I would say is ground flax seeds. Make sure to have them ground. If they're whole, then you actually don't really absorb the nutrients as much from them, and you don't really get that fiber. So ways that you can have them. So some people are saying in the comments they like having ground flax seeds with oatmeal. Can you put it in yogurt? Yes. So you can put it in yogurt, you can put it in oatmeal, you can put it in a smoothie. You can even like put it in baked goods, so baking muffins with flax. It's really great in helping just get more fiber in your diet. So if you're gonna have one superfood that you want to try out, it would be ground flax seeds. Okay, so going back to like somebody mentioned about experiencing bloating when eating broccoli, so cooking it. Yeah, so like I said, sometimes those dark vegetables or just any raw vegetable can be a bit challenging on the digestive tract. So cooking it is always helpful. Okay, so we talked about kale, ground flax seeds, and now number 3 is papaya. So I'm not sure if you've ever tried papaya, but it is a nice tropical fruit, and it's like that pinky orangey color. Has those like black seeds in the middle, and it's really great because it helps with digestion, and that is because it contains an enzyme called papain, and that helps to break down and digest protein. So it's like a natural digestive enzyme. So if you need a little bit more assistance in digesting food, having some papaya and putting that into your diet can be beneficial. And then that orange color, that like orangey pink color, is what it contains keratin, so that's what gives it that like orange color, and that in our body gets converted into vitamin A, and vitamin A is so beneficial for our skin health and our eye health and our immune health. So like if you want to think of it in like in an anti-aging way of things, because it helps with our skin, our eyes, that collagen production. So something like papaya is great for that as well. So in terms of like eating this, you can just have it, like you can slice it up and have it raw as it is. You can put it on top of yogurt bowls, on top of oatmeal. You can even just like put a little bit of lime juice on it and eat it the way it is. You can have it with other fruits, like in a fruit salad. It's just really, you just eat it the way it is, and it's pretty delicious. You can either have it, before a meal. So typically with fruits, usually having them before a meal is a little bit better because they get digested first. So having it before a meal, it can help stimulate your digestive enzymes, and then that's great. So that would be number 3 is papaya. Okay, so in terms of comments, I don't eat papaya, but I eat mango. So mango is another tropical fruit. It doesn't have that like enzyme that I was talking about in terms of the papaya, but it's another great tropical fruit. I'm having a protein papaya pineapple smoothie for breakfast tomorrow. That sounds delicious. Papaya, pineapple, hemp seed protein, and coconut milk. Yummy. Can you have too much papaya? Yeah, so like with anything, you should always try to have it in moderation. Too much of one thing would not be so good. So papaya, because it is a fruit and fruits have natural sugars in them. So if you're having difficulties with regulating blood sugar, if that's something you need to look out for, then just knowing that too much of that probably wouldn't be so good to have. Always having it, balancing it with protein, then would be a good option if that's something to be concerned of. But with anything, always try to have it in moderation. So change up the fruit that you eat. And that's something I'm going to be talking about towards the end of today, about having like a variety in the diet is so important. What about having a fruit juice during a meal? Yep, so you can have fruit juice with a meal. And like I said, that help if you're having it with the meal, it helps to balance the blood sugar because fruit juice, even though it is delicious and healthy, especially when they're fresh made juices, it still has sugar in it because it is still fruit, and you're actually getting all the fiber stripped away in a juice. So having it with a meal is great for helping to balance out the blood sugar, and then you still get the nutrients. All right, so we're going to move on to number 4 now, and that is bone broth. So bone broth can be found in many different forms. Like you can buy bones and steam it yourself and make your own broth. You can buy ready-made bone broth, or you can even buy bone broth powder. and those are different ways of consuming it. Of course, probably if you were to make your own, would be the most natural and most minimal additives and stuff, because you know exactly what's going in it. But you can still find good organic bone broth, and that it would be just as beneficial. So why do I like bone broth? Well, it contains many different things, but number one is it contains the collagen, and that's due to the bones and what's in the whether it be chicken bones or beef bones. And the collagen can help protect our joints. It can help protect arthritis, and it can also help our like hair and skin and nails. So it's really good with that that sense, and the collagen can help really, like, it nourishes our joints and it like lubricates them, so it's really helpful for preventing any excess joint pain. Again, it would be in addition to putting other things in the diet or other supplements or other remedies, treatments that you would need to do. It's not going to completely eliminate the joint pain, but it is helpful for preventing things from getting worse. It's also good for our gut health. So that collagen and that like soothing property of the bone broth is helpful for the intestinal lining and helpful for the integrity of our gut cells. So it's really good for that, and it helps to reduce inflammation in the gut. So those are really some good benefits of bone broth. You would just have it like in a cup, and you could sip it in a mug. You can add it to a soup that you're cooking, so you can cook with it. Those would really be the ways of cooking with bone broth. There are some like bone broth protein powders. I've never personally tried one, so I'm not sure what they taste like. But I would say if you're going to have that, then have more of the natural ones, the ones that are ready made, or make one yourself, or the bone broth powder. Okay, so question, how many grams of sugar are there in a papaya? I'm actually not too sure, but I can find out for you and let you know. Bone marrow, yeah, so it's a little bit different, but yeah, bone marrow like also has pretty nutrient dense properties in it. What's the difference between a chicken broth and a bone broth? So bone broth can be made from chicken bones. The difference is that in the process when they're cooking it, they do take a lot longer to really steam, or I guess it would be boiling the bones and putting them down on a low heat. And sometimes they can cook it up for 24 hours, and it helps to get more of that collagen in it, whereas the chicken broth might just be more of a flavored, or using more of the meat and not necessarily always the bones. So when you're getting the bone broth, you know it's exactly from the bones of either the chicken or the beef, and they're using that, so that collagen content is higher in that. Okay, so let's move on to number 5, and number 5 is garlic. So I know garlic is really strong and it's pungent, and it can give you like garlic breath, and it's very aromatic, but it is very powerful in the sense of its microbial properties. So antimicrobial basically means antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. And that is due to this powerful compound that it has, which is called allicin, so ALLCIN. It's an infection fighting, and it's immunoprotective. So I've used garlic in certain treatments before, where we've had to get rid of bad gut bacteria. So if you had candida overgrowth or a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, it's great for that. So it's also really helpful for protecting our heart. So it's good for reducing blood pressure. So if you look into garlic research and also onion, you'll see that it's helpful for reducing blood pressure. So it can reduce like the risk of blood clots and heart disease too. What else can it do? It's good for, like I said, the immunoprotective portion of it. So like it will help protect your immune system from other pathogens, bacterias. So adding garlic, you can even chop it up and saute it with veggies. You can use garlic powder. You can use it in so many different like soups, stews. You can use it to marinate stuff. It also helps to like get rid of bacteria and stuff that might be on any meat. So if you're marinating it, that's what is used, like garlic and salt. It is very strong and powerful, so it's a good one to, try to have it if you can. My stomach can't handle garlic. Yes, so garlic is actually one that some people even have allergies to garlic or cannot tolerate garlic. So probably then avoiding it would be best. You could try like an infused garlic oil. It would give you more of the flavor rather than the actual properties if you wanted the flavor of it. But yeah, there's other ways of getting the benefits. If you can have onions still have some good benefits in that too. Grated garlic and onion is good for marinating meat. Yeah, like I mentioned, marinating meat with garlic and onion would be beneficial too. Is it best to eat it as it is or taking supplements? So it depends. So if you just want it every day for its general health properties and you don't have any like severe infections, then eating it daily can help prevent infections, can help reduce, like I said, blood pressure and help with heart health. If you have, like I was mentioning, the conditions like Candida, SIBO, then actually it would need to be taken in a supplement form, and it's much more potent and it's a standardized amount. So that would be the answer to that. If you want it just like to help improve your overall heart health, then having it, in foods is probably the best thing to do. Okay. All right, let's go on to number 6, which is, or I guess more of a category, berries. So berries, and this would be things like blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, and cranberries. So berries are one of the most packed foods with antioxidants. So antioxidants help to prevent free radical damage to our cells. So that's like due to oxidative stress. So our cells are constantly always going through so many cell division and cellular changes, and they are very susceptible to oxidative damage. So antioxidants help protect our cells from all of that. So basically that can help then reduce the risk of heart disease. It can help reduce the risk of cancer and other chronic diseases. It can help protect our heart and our blood vessels too. So that really bright color, like that red, deep purpley color in all the berries, that is due to like the antioxidant properties, and it's really helpful for improving our overall cardiovascular health. So if you want to have berries, any of the ones that I mentioned, always go for fresh berries rather than like the dried berries. The dried berries don't have as many properties as the fresh ones do. So you can, or fresh or even frozen, like if they're frozen berries, that's a great alternative too. You can add them into smoothies. You can add them on top of oatmeal, yogurt, just on the side on its own. You can slice them and put them in a salad if you want like a summer berry salad with spinach. There's so many different ways you can eat berries, and they're just such a yummy and easy snack to have. Okay, so that was number 6. Let's move on to number 7, which is walnuts. So if you've ever looked at a walnut and like you open it up, you can notice that it kind of looks like the brain. It has those like 2 lobes and like all those grooves. So it's interesting because they are actually naturally good for our brain health. And that's due to their healthy fats. So they are a good source of omega-3 fats, like kind of how I was mentioning with the flaxseed. Walnuts are great for our brain health. They also have biotin and vitamin E, again, more nourishing things for our brain health, for our skin health too. And they have fiber and protein in them too. So they're a great little nutritious snack. They are a good source of protein and like a vegetarian source of protein. And like I mentioned, really helpful for skin health, and that's really due to the vitamin E and the omega-3 fatty acids. In terms of walnuts, you can have, a little bit on top of like a salad and yogurt bowls. If you want to just have it on the side and like make your own trail mix with walnuts and almonds. There's also, many different nuts that are healthy too, but I'd say walnuts is one of the greatest ones because of those omega-3s and that really good for heart health and brain health too. All right, let's jump into the chat for a second. The hardest part is implementing these foods in a daily diet. It's so much easier to think of unhealthy foods to eat because of the constant advertisements. They want us to be unhealthy. Very true. Like with the food industry, there's so many advertisements for those snacks that probably aren't the healthiest. And you never see an advertisement for like ground flax seeds. Sometimes for walnuts, I've seen it, but yeah, they don't really advertise the benefits of all these foods. So trying to just have a variety of things in the diet, and I'll talk about that a bit more. Slowly adding things in here and there. Then yeah, that would be probably the best thing. And having things ready to go. So like I was talking about the walnuts, so having like a trail mix ready to go and bringing that with you to work is good. A bag of nuts, or like preparing, like pre-washing your berries, so that way they're in the fridge, you can wash them, store them in a container, and then they're just easy to grab and go. Because sometimes what we want is convenience. So healthy foods sometimes take a little bit of time to prepare. So if you have things ready to go, or if you even plan out what you want to do, then it makes things a little bit easier. Okay. There's a question about acai. Is that a good berry? Yes, acai is a good berry. It does have a lot of antioxidants that really dark color. Sorry, I forgot to mention that one. But yes, good call. That is a great berry. I've never really found acai berry just in like the local grocery stores. You probably have to go to more specialty stores, but they do have like the frozen acai berry packets that you can add into smoothies too. So those ones are good. Okay. Even healthy stuff is unhealthy. Beyond Meat has so much filler in it. Yes. So that is not like a healthy substitute. Having something like a bean burger, like making your own fresh bean burgers or veggie burgers, rather than the Beyond Meat. I understand some people want to have that if they want to have a meat alternative that maybe tastes similar to meat. But again, moderation, don't have that every day. Try to stick to more whole foods diet. All right, number 8, we're going to jump into this one, and this is oats. So oats are great, like similar to flax, where they're loaded with fiber. So they help our digestion, they improve our bowel movements, they help to reduce our cholesterol. But these ones are also helpful because they help you feel fuller longer. So they increase satiety, and that can help with regulating and managing weight. So if you're feeling fuller longer, then you don't need to grab for other snacks and foods. So having something like oats is really helpful. And then they have a compound in them called beta-glucan, and this is what's important for reducing the cholesterol. So similar to the flax seeds, it's really great for binding to the cholesterol and excreting it out of the body, so you don't, or eliminating out of the body. So that way you don't have that excess cholesterol just like lying around. So they're really great for that purpose. You want to make sure when you're having oats, try to get the ones that are, what are they called? Like either steel cut or the not quick cook ones. Like the ones that are quick cook have a little bit more of their fiber stripped from them. So they can be digested quicker, and they don't produce that longing effect of feeling fuller, and they don't stay in the digestive tract as long. So something like a steel cut, or even like a quicker steel cut one. Of course, steel cut would be the best, but that one does take some time. So if you're running short on time, I know you might not have 20 minutes to cook your oats. So maybe even preparing them in a pressure cooker, you could do that, or having oats. You can even meal prep oats and have them ready to go and then just reheat them the next day. those are ways of having those healthier steel cut oats, but in a quicker way. If you really need to just have the quick cook oats, then it's better than nothing, because that's still better than having like a muffin or something that doesn't have that soluble fiber in it that the oats do. So that would be number 8 is oats. Okay, so somebody mentioned they're sensitive to oats, so they usually can have quinoa or buckwheat. Yeah, you can even do quinoa. You can do quinoa like in an oatmeal kind of form. Like you can cook it in like an almond milk or an oat milk, and then put cinnamon in it, and it's like a sweeter version of quinoa. So that is an alternative to having oatmeal. Quinoa, yes. Okay, number 9 is olive oil. So a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about the Mediterranean diet and how it's a really great diet and one of the best ones out there. And a key part of the Mediterranean diet is olive oil, specifically extra virgin olive oil is the one that you want to get. That's the most purest form, and it's the one that's like less processed. So olive oil has high levels of monounsaturated fats. So those are great, like I was talking about healthy fats before. So those are great for our heart health and our brain health. But olive oil also has things like vitamin E and vitamin K, which are also fat-soluble vitamins. And that's also important, again, for our heart health and our brain health. Olive oil also helps protect our cells against any damage. It reduces the bad cholesterol, and it can protect against heart disease. So that's why it's a key component in the Mediterranean diet. With olive oil, you have to be careful with how much you heat it. So you don't want to heat it at very high temperatures. Usually when you're cooking with it, keep it at a lower temperature, or you can even use it at the end to just toss raw on top of your veggies, on top of your salad, on top of pasta, whatever you want to drizzle it on top of like a soup. Having it raw is actually the best, but if you're cooking it, just be careful. You can look up its smoke point, and that would be what you can see how much you should heat it up to and what you shouldn't go over. So just knowing with olive oil, it has a lower smoke point. Things like avocado oil, you can cook them at a higher heat. So if you're wanting to cook something at a higher heat, then yeah. Okay. So there's a question I heard: olive oil cooked at a higher temperature can cause cancer. Is this true? I'm not entirely sure if that is a true thing, but it is not good to cook it at a higher temperature. It really does denature its minerals and vitamins, and it's the way that it overheats it is not good for it. It can oxidize it. So having it at a lower temperature, in terms of it causing cancer, I don't know if that's a true in research, but it is not the greatest to have it cooked at a high temperature. I've yet to find a way to make quinoa tasty. Okay, so I'm not sure if you've ever tried cooking it in a broth, but I find if you, instead of cooking it in water, if you cook it in broth, so like a chicken broth or a veggie broth, it does improve the flavor of it, adding different herbs and seasonings to it too. You can after it's cooked, you can toss it in olive oil, something like olive oil, or even a vinegar, and just if you're having it in like a salad, that I find makes it a bit more tastier. If you're having it hot, then cook it in the chicken broth, and then after you can saute it with veggies, and it kind of takes on the flavor of veggies. So if you saute onions and carrots and mix it all together. Yeah, and somebody said add green peppers or add peppers to it. So I find that if you mix it more with other things rather than just having it on its own, is pretty tastier. All right, and then some feta and bon appetit. Yeah, so that's a good idea too. All right, let's go on to number 10, and number 10 is ginger. So ginger is a really great anti-inflammatory. It has a lot of properties in it that help reduce inflammation in the body. But I like ginger because it can help with many different conditions and help improve many different symptoms that we might feel. So, for example, it's great for nausea and digestive upset. So, it's really helpful for reducing nausea. If you have an upset stomach, you can either make a ginger tea, you can buy ginger capsules or chewable ginger, and it's helpful for that. And it's also been researched to help with arthritis, with migraines, and with menstrual pain. So those three things are have been studied with ginger and different medications. So, for example, ginger and ibuprofen, which is Advil, to help reduce menstrual pains, it has been shown to be just as effective. With ginger and one of the migraine medications, triptans, it can help reduce it just as effective as migraine medication. So having ginger, that for those conditions would be more in the capsule form or the tablet form. But other than that, just having it like in your everyday diet can help reduce inflammation and help prevent any inflammation in the body. So you can have it either like chopped it up and or minced in a saute and with a stir fry. So you can have it with like different veggies and have it with rice in a stir fry. It's great for that. You can have ginger tea. You can even have ginger in a smoothie, so like a nice ginger, mango, pineapple smoothie. Don't put too much because it is pretty strong. So whenever you're having like the raw ginger, it's much more stronger than if you were to cook it. Again, those are different ways. You can marinate chicken in it. You can marinate a tofu in it by mincing it and putting on top of different proteins. So it is a really great food, and it's one that we probably don't put in our diets as much, especially in the Western diet. So adding a little bit of ginger can really help out with reducing inflammation. All right. Okay, yes, you're very welcome. So they're just chatting about in the comments, just chatting about the quinoa. So yeah, it is a good one if you cook it or add it in a salad. Okay, sounds like I should be eating all of those foods instead of pasta. I eat a lot of pasta. Is that bad? Yes, so with pasta, the thing with that is there's not too much nutrients in it, like not many vitamins, minerals, none of these like anti-inflammatory properties that I'm talking about, because it really is just wheat. So if you're gonna have pasta, like try to have other things with it too. So your plate should not just be completely filled with pasta. Maybe have the pasta should be more of like a side, and then having more of other veggies and more of these other things that we're talking about with the main meal. It's not necessarily bad, but also depends how much you're eating. Yes, if you are having it every day, then you are exposing yourself to a lot of wheat, a lot of gluten, which may be contributing to some inflammation if you're sensitive to it. So maybe reducing that. Or you can even choose something like a bean-based pasta or a lentil-based pasta. Those ones have more protein in them because regular pasta doesn't have too much protein. Has a little bit, but not that much. So having like a pea-based pasta or a lentil-based, you're getting more protein, you're getting more fiber in there, and it's going to be a bit of a healthy alternative. So you don't have to completely eliminate the pasta, but having some of these other options or reducing the amount can be beneficial. All right. We have two more superfoods to talk about. So number 11 is my favorite, which is avocado. So I love avocado because of its creaminess, its texture. Some people do not like it at all. They cannot stand it, but personally I love it. So avocado is actually a fruit. I'm not sure if you knew that. Some people think it's a vegetable. So it is actually a fruit. And it contains lots of fiber in it. It has folate and other B vitamins, which are important for all our cells and all our enzymatic processes in our body. So it helps to convert like different enzymes. So B vitamins are great. Has magnesium, has healthy fats, so those monounsaturated fats that I was talking about before. It also has a lot of potassium, so more potassium actually than bananas. So it's great for helping reduce the risk of heart disease, for metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is something where you have like a lot of heart disease, diabetes, obesity. So helping reduce all of that. It's really great for all of that. But some people might be a bit afraid of it because it is a fat, but it has the healthy fats. Of course, like we've been talking about, having it in moderation. So one avocado a day is probably quite a bit. Maybe going for like half an avocado is a bit better of an option. And always changing things up to have variety. So avocado, you can have this in many different forms. So you can have it on avocado toast, like somebody mentioned, the food of millennials. You can have it on avocado toast. You can what's it called, like mash it up with salt and lime and have it like a guacamole. You can have it just sliced with eggs. You can have it, make it into a spread and put it on a sandwich, chop it up and put it in a salad. It's so versatile, it's so healthy, so it's a great healthy fat to add into your diet if you like it. Meat sauce with mushrooms, green peppers, and onions. So I'm assuming that's more for the pasta, so you're having a little bit more of healthy vegetables in that. How about fish? Yes, I actually didn't include fish on my list, but fish is a great source of healthy fats. I've talked about this, I believe, in the diet video where we were talking about the Mediterranean diet, and they like to include fish in the diet. So some healthy like salmon includes lots of healthy omega-3s, great for your heart health, skin health, brain health. So fish is great. All right, number 12 on my list. This is more of a category as well, but this is probiotic foods. So number 12 is including probiotic foods, and they are superfoods because they are beneficial for our good gut bacteria. And if you know me, I've talked about the gut so many times and how it is really important for improving our overall health. So really sometimes disease can root and start in the gut. So improving your gut can actually improve a lot of other diseases that you may have. So these probiotic foods are things like yogurt, kefir, which is like a probiotic yogurt drink, kimchi, sauerkraut, tempeh. I believe I've spoke about these before in previous videos. Pickled foods. So these are things that have good bacteria in it, which help improve our good gut bacteria. So they are important for regulating our bowel movements, for our immune system, because a lot of our immune system actually lies within our gut. It's important for our mood and important for our metabolism because we need a good, healthy gut and lots of good gut bacteria and a healthy microbiome in order to have a good metabolism. So if you want to include some of these in your diet, it's probably one of the ones that I don't include the most. So it's something I try to be a bit more mindful of and having more of that, whether that be like a coconut yogurt or trying to have some pickled foods, or even tempeh I'll have from time to time, but I really don't usually have like sauerkraut or kimchi. So if you like those ones, and then trying to have them more in your diet can be helpful for getting in some more good probiotics. All right, so we've talked about 12 different foods. I'll recap them for all of you. Number 1 was kale. Number 2 was ground flax seeds. Number 3 was papaya. 4 was bone broth. Number 5 was garlic. 6 was berries. 7, walnuts. 8 was oats. 9, olive oil. 10 was ginger. 11 was avocado. And then 12 was the probiotic foods. So out of all of these that we've been talking about, let me know which one is your favorite. Which one, or not, maybe not it's your favorite, but which one have you maybe not tried or that you're interested in trying that you want to add into your diet now. So let me know in the comments. So like I mentioned, we always want to aim to have a variety of foods, specifically having lots of colorful fruits and veggies. These fruits and veggies have phytonutrients in them, which are natural plant compounds, and they are important for our overall health. So if you have like eat the rainbow, if that's an easier way of remembering things, this will really help improve your overall gut health, your overall immune health, heart health. They try and have different colors. So for examples, red fruits, red veggies, they contain lycopene. Lycopene helps the body get rid of free radicals. It helps with our heart health. The yellowy ones, they contain lutein and zeaxanthin. Those are important for our eye health, so like preventing things like what's it called, age-related macular degeneration and cataracts. So yellow foods are great for that. The green, like the dark greens, or like the broccolis, have sulforaphane. They have indoles, and these are helpful for detoxification, reducing free radical damage and helping prevent and reduce the risk of cancer. And then the orange ones, I think I mentioned like in papaya how it has like the carotene, and that's really helpful for that vitamin A production in the body, and helpful for eye health, for heart health, and the immune system. And then those like red ones and the really purpley red, or those dark ones, they have antioxidants like we were talking about. So all of those, try to incorporate more of those in your diet. Like I mentioned, you can try to like meal prep things, or you can plan things ahead, wash your fruits, chop up your veggies so they're ready to go, prepare snacks so you have things on demand for when you're hungry. Yes. Okay, so let's read in the comments, and then I'll talk about my challenge for you. So somebody says great information. Maybe one should keep a poster on the wall with all the foods you mentioned as a reminder what to eat. Yeah, that's a great idea. So at the end of the video, like when it's posted up onto YouTube, I'll write in the comments or in the description, I'll list them all so you can have a quick list going back to them. So that's a good idea. Keep them on the fridge. You're gonna eat all of them. Skittles, no, not Skittles. Eat the rainbow, but not the Skittles rainbow. I'm going to try papaya. Great. Yeah, papaya's a great one. I became a board of walnuts, so now I eat pumpkin seeds. No salt. Great. So pumpkin seeds are also a healthy one too. All right. So my challenge for you is to eat 30 different plant-based foods in a week. And it sounds like a lot, the different plant-based foods, but this includes even things like spices. So things like fruits, vegetables, grains, like legumes, lentils, herbs, spices. One of those things would count as one. So try to have 30 in a week. So if you even were to look at today and count what you ate, if you can remember. So for example, if you had like oatmeal and you had berries and you had avocado, and then with lunch maybe you had rice, any plant-based foods, if you added basil or on something, you will realize you might get to 30 pretty quickly. So trying to do that, that's like a goal of trying to include more plant-based foods and more fruits and veggies in your diet. Try to get to 30 over a week and see how you can do. That's my challenge for you, to try to get to that. All right, let's see if there's any more comments or questions. If you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. For the next 10 minutes, we can answer some questions. And I hope that this was all helpful for you. Okay, so somebody asked, is kefir anti-inflammatory? I use coconut milk and have it in a smoothie. So kefir, like I was mentioning, is a good probiotic food, so it can help reduce inflammation because it's good for helping with the gut health. So it works on the gut and inflammation in that sense. It's not like a potent anti-inflammatory as something like ginger, or another one that I didn't mention, which would be like turmeric, or like the healthy oils, but it is good for helping with the gut health, which can help reduce inflammation. The more you try, the more probability of you sticking with one or a few of those 30. Yep. Yeah, so exactly. Trying to get those into the diet can be really helpful and beneficial. You will notice you probably will feel more energy. You'll feel a little bit more clarity, like mental clarity. You might have a better appetite. Maybe you don't crave the snacks and unhealthy foods as much when you have more of these in your diet. So trying to add more of those in can be really beneficial for helping just overall health. Like I mentioned, we can all use the benefits of improving our heart health, improving our gut health, our immune health. So okay, so before we end today, let me know if there's any questions. And if you haven't done so already, join the community here. So subscribe to the channel. We go live every Friday and we chat about different health topics. So you can subscribe, hit the bell notification. That way you'll get notified every time I go live. And give this video a like to really help out with the YouTube algorithm here and getting our channel noticed. Okay, so next week I'm going to be chatting about how to improve your immune system, how to boost your immune system, or ways of improving your immune system, because I think that's a hot topic that we all want to know about. How can we improve our immune system, especially with everything going on? So I'll chat about different do's and don'ts, so like what you shouldn't do and what you should do to help improve your immune system. All right, is bread plant-based? No. But things like oats and quinoa, then those are okay. So that is considered part of the plant-based foods to add. So like, yes, oats, quinoa, rice are okay because they're nice, good whole grains. But something processed like bread, even if it is like the healthier breads, I would say no, don't include that. Try to go for whole foods. So like a pepper, an orange, a bowl of oats, those kind of things. Try to stick more with those, and see how many you can eat. And even, start tomorrow and just count, and then let me know next week when we meet back. I want to see if you were able to reach 30, if you reached more, if you reached less, and if you need, some more tips to reaching more foods. All right, everyone. So I think that will be it then for today. So I hope you all enjoyed this live stream and chatting with me about superfoods. If I had to pick one, I think I would say avocado is my favorite one, but I love all of them. So I hope this was helpful and that you learned something new, and then I will see you all next week.